We are together, and through this, we will survive.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Marzook here. How goes it, everyone? Hopefully, you're all doing great. Today, we will be taking a gander. We will be reviewing the Transformers Age of the Primes, Nexus Prime.
Nexus Prime isn't just another ancient transformer. He's the original combiner, one of the first 13 beings ever created by Primus, and the living symbol of unity through transformation. While other primes ruled through wisdom, power, or destiny, Nexus represented something uniquely Transformers. The idea that many can become one, and that together, they can become something greater than any single warrior ever could.
Okay, so here we got Nexus Prime. This figure has been very controversial. A lot of people have been arguing about him. But you know what? Let's take a closer look. Okay, himself, he's not a bad figure. I do like the color palette that he has going on here. It's like a reverse Optimus Prime. Usually Optimus has the blue down here, red on top. They flip that. Even the head. Optimus is a blue head. This is a red head. He looks good. I've always liked this this design. The more TF1 design for him, I actually like it. I actually think it's really clean looking. It's really slick. I know a lot of people will say that it's very boring, and I could definitely see that. But I guess it's all in your preference, because I really loved Primal Prime. And a lot of people said that design was really boring. But I think it's really clean looking. But we have his chest, beautifully painted silver there, with the gold in the core. Beautiful battle mask. I'm a sucker for robots and battle masks. It's the only way it should go. With the visor. Nice head design there. Little crest up on top that looks like a little robotic mohawk. Again, the little crest on the forearms. Same deal as the chest. Silver around. Yellowish gold there in the middle. Same thing on the other forearm. You got the little gold accents here painted. Black here, black there, black feet. Silver paint here. Red. I think he looks good. I think he looks nice and clean. Of course, what looks like blasters here. The top of the knuckles. Some silver right here at his waist. I think he's a good looking figure. All things considered, all chaos and controversy considered, I really don't like the little bit of waffling here. But I'm sure there'll be some filler kid out there if it really bothers me. And the hollowness here kind of sucks, but what can we expect? No figure can be perfect, right? Okay, so for articulation, that's as far up as he'll go, as far as looking up, looking down, do a full 360, right there, full 360 at the shoulder, you can T-pose, full 360 at the bicep, bend at the elbow. The wrists can't really do a 360 because this part of the mold gets in his way, so that kind of sucks. I mean, you probably could, but it's really hard. No ab crunch, but you can do 360 at the waist. You can Van Damme. Can 360 at the thigh here. Bend at the knee. He has that tilt. And he could kick down like that. Could kick this far up. Kick this far back. And that's Articulation. Okay, so like all the other primes, he comes with his ancient artifact, and the one that belongs to him is the Enigma of Combination. Looks like a matrix. Painted silver. Has his logo in there. As far as weaponry, he comes with his two wing pistols, which kind of makes some parts for me. You know what I mean? These act as the wings when you have him in his ult mode, and of course he could hold the pistols, wield them, shoot them, you know, do pew pew, bang bang, pew pew, all that good stuff. And that's all he comes with. Okay, for size comparisons in robot mode, here he is with Silverbolt. Now this is important because they both act as the cores to a combiner skeleton. Now, of course, Silverbolt is a commander when he's paired with the skeleton. If you remove the skeleton, I always thought he was like pretty much a glorified, let's be honest, a glorified Voyager. Because here we have Prima, who's about the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Silverbolt. But the heft, the heft is what lets you know that this should cost more. This guy's smaller. Yes, he's lighter. He's not as hefty. And then, of course, you have another commander, which is the 86. That's my MD-05 Prime. And he's a commander class with the trailer. And, of course, again, the heft. He does not have the heft. He does not have the heft that these guys have. He feels as hefty as he does, and he's also a Voyager. But as far as height, yeah, he's a shorty. He's not, for a Prime, he's smaller than I think he should be. The other Voyagers that are Primes are as tall as Prima or a tad bit taller. But yeah, that's how he fares height-wise. Okay, here we have Mr. Nexus Prime in his ult mode. And yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. This ain't it, Chief. I'm not one of these negative Nancys, because there's a lot of people on this app, on YouTube, that just want to hate just to hate. But this is justified. This is lazy. It's a rectangle with tiny wings. The transformation very much, in a lot of ways, not completely, reminded me of transforming Blaster. This ain't it. And I know what you're going to say. Well, he doesn't really have an official ult mode or whatever, so they had to create one. But man, the other ones fared better. Like, look at the ult mode for any of them. Even the ones that I don't like, man, just any of them. Any of them are better than this. Even Quintus, as lazy as the squid is, that appropriately looks like something. An alien ship. Why would aliens pick something rectangle? That is not aerodynamic in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? I really think that, this Nexus Prime should have been a leader. He should have been a leader class. He would have been a leader. I feel like they could have done a lot better as far as the ult. I mean, as far as the paint, the same paint applications as the robot, of course. I mean, it looks okay for what it is, but honestly, I saw a fan mode on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'll try to put a picture right here if I could find, the original. But that fan mode is a lot better. Okay, real quick for a size comparison in his ult mode. Here he is, of course. Here he is with Prima. You can see, I think. And then with the behemoth leader, Megatronus over here. Of course, Megatronus is a good deal bigger, but Nexus is almost as wide as Megatronus is long in his length. But yeah, that gives you an idea of what he looks like size-wise next to some of the other primes. Okay, so you want to know about combine mode. And honestly, guys, I'm going to show you how to get this ready for combine mode, because a lot of the stuff that we've seen thus far, that I've seen thus far floating around, to me, has gotten it incorrect. And I kind of figured out how to do this configuration, because if you don't know, it's not in the instructions for some reason. Now, first step, easily, you get these guys out of the way. You're going to go up here. You're going to tab this black part off of the forearm on both sides. Just like that. You're going to come up here. You're going to fold this out. Right? Get these bad boys out of the way. And here, you're going to fold these guys until they tab in right here into this tab. You're going to fold this into that. So it should bend like that. Do the other side like that. And this is going to fold like that. Like that. First, the head will come out like that. And then you turn it like that. And this is the actual front. And then from here, you spin these bad boys around. Position them like that. There's these tabs right there. That tab's going to bend and insert right there. The upper tab will go right there. Same thing with the other side. And it should look like that. And then you close up this area like that. And then you could get these wings. Put them right there like that. And that's how it should look for combiner mode. You're going to bring in the combiner skeleton, open it up like that, get Nexus right here, these tabs right there, these tabs right there. He's going to go right in like that. This is going to tab right there. Move to the front, and when you move to the front, these will tab in the way they tab in on Silverbolt, just like that. And then the arms will go on like that. And there you have Nexus in his combiner mode. I know it bums a lot of people out, but for what they gave us, it honestly looks pretty good to me. All right, final thoughts, guys. Let's wrap this up. I don't want this video to run too long here. Yeah, he's a little bit shorter than I wanted. He might be a bit too simple and clean in design for some folk. He's a perfectly fine figure. And I'm talking about the figure itself. I'm not talking about, the combiner stuff. Guys, he's not the worst out of all the primes. I still think that the worst one is Solus. I still think that Solus is the worst of all the primes. He's not that bad. He's okay. Him being a combiner really killed his ult mode. It's just the square rectangle ult mode that sucks. The fan mode that's out there from that gentleman on X or Twitter is a lot better. That's probably how I would use that. As far as him in an actual combiner mode, the instructions that I gave you, it fits well. It does its thing with the combiner skeleton. Now, with that being said, I really feel like we're going to get a G2 Superion, and those colors are going to be what properly goes with this guy. Now, unfortunately, it does suck that if you want a proper combiner Nexus, you have to go buy a combiner. You have to go buy Silverbolt and then the limbs of your choosing, which sucks. That's a lot of money, But at the same time, I understand that, if they would have done that, that would have blown the budget for the rest of the Age of the Primes. And they had to make the decision to do it this way. But other than that, man, he's cool. I think he's awesome. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, and that's fine. We all have our opinions. But you tell me what you think of this figure. If you're still on the fence on him, if you're not. I like him, but I also don't like the fact that I'm going to have to source my own Silverbolt to do the combiner mode. That kind of irks me. But the bot itself is fine. But yeah, so, pick them up if you're collecting Age of the Primes, of course. You're collecting all the Primes, the 13. You're going to get them. You won't regret them. He's not a leader, for sure. He's barely a Voyager. But he is not horrible by any means. Don't believe in any of that negativity. He's good. It's just the combiner part that lets you down. But, yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hit that like button and subscribe. Also, don't forget to tell a friend. And remember to smile, because the strongest smile through it all. Bye-bye.